by the man himself, our dude, Logan Landers. How's it going, Logan?
Man, doing pretty good, Jeremiah. Nice to see you again. It's been a little bit of time since I've been on the videos, but man, I'm happy to be back, let me tell you.
Yeah, so glad to have you too, man. And we're so glad to be able to broadcast here live from Atlanta, Georgia. If you like the show, like, comment, subscribe, and please put a comment down in the bottom and tell us where you're watching from and if you're enjoying the show. On today's show, we are going to recap Andrew Thomas. He was drafted to the New York Giants. We're pretty excited.
Right.
Mr. Logan Landers, we're going to get into his stats and everything, and I'm going to kind of let you take it from there. But just right off the top, did he get drafted at the time and where you expected him to get drafted?
You know, a lot of people didn't have him going top 5. In early mock draft they did, but, you know, later on they had him going probably around pick 10, 11, 12, something along like that. But, you know, I really like the pick for the Giants. They need a little bit of help on the line, and, I mean, we'll get into it a little bit later.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, Logan, I'm going to let you take it over from here. Tell us a little bit more about what happened with Andrew Thomas, and how he got drafted, a little bit of history about where he came from and how he got here, and just what you think is going on with him for the future.
Yeah, man. All right, let's get it going. We got Andrew Thomas, the big offensive tackle out of Georgia, of course. You know, born in Lithonia, Georgia. He's a captain for the Bulldogs, for the UGA Bulldogs, of course. 6'5", 320, absolute tank on the line. You know, before he even committed to Georgia a couple of years ago, he had offers from other great teams like Florida and Alabama. So he was already a highly touted pick, or not a touted prospect going into college, of course. You know, he's also one thing I really like about him. He's a very healthy player. He started, you know, all 42 games when he played for Georgia, and he only missed one game for his Bulldog career, which I think is absolutely outstanding, especially considering all the, you know, just wear and tear that you get from football in general, but let alone football in the SEC, playing all those highly touted teams, of course, on the offensive line. He's seen great, you know, defensive players come by, you know, over the past couple of years, and he's just been one to stick with all of them for sure. Something I like about Thomas also, he's got great arming. And when I say that, I just mean that, you know, for a good offensive tackle, you got to have long arms and you got to have strong arms, of course. And Thomas has some absolute lengthy arms, like pool noodle arms, I would say, just absolutely long arms that he can just hold on to the other defensive player and just control him and move him wherever he pleases, honestly. Thomas is absolutely outstanding for run blocking, of course. He's seen some great running backs come through Georgia over his time there. And, you know, I like the pick for the Giants because they have, you know, Saquon Barkley, of course, who is a absolute stud in the league. He's still young and he's got a lot of time to get even better. And I think the Giants need a little bit of help with that. You know, Thomas primarily played left tackle for the most part for the Bulldogs. But, you know, wherever the Giants suit him at, I feel that he's really going to be a force for the time to come. Yeah, just I think that, you know, Thomas in general was obviously he was the first tackle taken in draft for sure. But, you know, he's just going to be effective in the run game, which the Giants I'm sure the Giants fans hope that becomes a little bit more prominent with Barkley, of course. You know, they have Daniel Jones, who's their young quarterback they started last year over Eli Manning. A little bit of controversy of that with Eli being there for a long time, but, you know, you got to change eventually. And I think Daniel Jones is going to love this pick to help protect him. All in all, I think that Thomas is just an absolute great offensive tackle. And I believe the Giants probably got, you know, a lot of people say that they picked him a little early. Well, I mean, yeah, you can say that, but look, you know, you got to have a great offensive line to help protect your team. If you don't have a good O-line, your team's going to get sacked. You know, if you're going to run, you're going to get blown up in the backfield. It's just, you have to have a good offense line. And I don't know, you know, a lot of scouts, a lot of, you know, other fans just like, oh, I don't know why they picked him so early. It's like, you know, it's not too hard. Just, he's a great offensive tackle, I believe. And, you know, he's gonna work wonders for the New York Giants, I'm pretty sure.
That's like one of the main things that I had noticed, too, is that a lot of the pundits felt like he was, quote, picked too early. And, like,
right.
First off, no one can be picked too early. If you're picked, it's because you're a quality player, because they need you in their lineup, because, I mean, there's a million reasons why to pick somebody. So I never believe the hype of pick too early. Because,
Right. No.
it's almost like you as a pundit are saying that his value isn't quite as high as it's coming across as.
Mhm.
And I understand that some people fizzle. Like first
Right.
round draft picks fizzle every single year.
Right. That's just going to happen.
That's just going to happen. But I feel like the hype was not unjustified for him. I feel like given everything I know about the situation, he was picked at a pretty reasonable time, and he's a great player. So I mean, on my side of it, it's more like I think the New York Giants made a strategic decision to almost steal him earlier in the draft, because what could have shaped up, and I think we've seen this, is a couple other players that have been picked almost what they refer to as they're like, oh, we have to get him now because he will go in another, in a couple more rounds, and we can't leave him, waiting depending on what the other pick we decided we wanted. So I feel like they made a really good decision. What's your final words on Mr. Andrew Thomas?
Yeah, man, like you were saying, I think the Giants made I'd say a safe pick, and when I say that, I just mean that, everyone knew coming in he was going to be a top O lineman, and you can't go wrong with getting the big boy out of Georgia, the 6'5", 320-pounder. Thomas is just, like I say, he's got great strength. He's really going to help out the Giants in the offensive line, especially with the running. I know Saquon Barkley's probably foaming at the mouth to get ready to get the season started, work with Thomas, talk with him, and, just hopefully Thomas will push a couple defenders out the way, get a big hole, and let Saquon run to the hole, So, yeah, I think Andrew Thomas is a great pick for the Giants. And, whoever thinks that, if the Giants fans aren't too pleased about it, I know, they might have some other concerns they could have drafted, but I think Thomas is going to be a great pick for them for the perennial future for sure.
Well, great, Mr. Logan Landers. We appreciate you as always with your sports knowledge, and we appreciate all the research that you did to prepare for this. I am Jeremiah Long, the producer for the show, joined again with Logan Landers, our sports insider. Today we were talking about Andrew Thomas, who was drafted last night to the New York Giants. Please like, comment, and share. Justin Paul, what's up, bro? We're going to be talking about DeAndre very soon, right? We'll be doing
we'll be talking about him real soon, Justin.
Yeah. So we got
Justin
video. Yeah, on DeAndre Swift, right? Is that?
Yeah, that's it.
DeAndre Swift, number 7. Yeah, we'll be jumping on and talking about him some more very shortly. We'll be doing a separate video on that.
Right.
So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for joining us live. Leave comments and please share this and let us know any other players besides DeAndre Swift or Andrew Thomas or anybody else that you've loved in the draft, what you want to hear about it. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Nice to talk to you, Mr. Logan Landers.
I've talked to you, Jeremiah. Nice to see you again, buddy.
We are 100 yards of football. Keep watching.